Hello, welcome to another edition of Leading Edge, our weekly leadership resource to support you on your growth journey as we seek to raise effective godly leaders. Now, in the last 2 weeks, we have been walking through the Great Manager series. Now, so far, we have examined the 7 portraits of a great manager. And then last week, we dealt with management for new managers, in which we particularly discussed 7 useful guides for those making the transition from individual contributors to people manager roles. Today, we shall take the third part of the series as we look at the top 7 manager skills. The top 7 manager skills. Now, an organization is only as good as its people, especially the people that lead it. One of the points we have stressed in a prior session is that organizational resources are neutral. Leaders are the critical catalysts that transform them into organizational outcomes. This is why it's imperative, therefore, to find appropriate managers that can lead the organization into the future. Management is a multifaceted thing requiring a wide range of skills. Of course, each industry or business function has its specific body of knowledge that managers in those areas should possess. This is what is called domain knowledge. These are the foundational skills like an understanding of the processes of products to be managed, the relevant tasks and how they are performed. But such domain knowledge is only the basics. The manager requires more than domain knowledge to succeed. His job involves inspiring, challenging, motivating people. He must therefore be multi-skilled to be able to succeed. So his role is both hard and soft skills. As a manager rises in an organization, he will require new skills if he must take his seat at the table of leadership. It is only such skilled and transformational managers that steer, support, and sustain the transformational journeys of great organizations. So, management skills are important. That's the point. They are highly useful and beneficial beyond one firm or organization. In fact, beyond your professional path, these skills affect your personal development and growth, and of course, your relationships. In a word, management skills are transferable skills that have a broad range of applications. So let us here examine 7 of such top management skills. Number 1, communication. Now, the greatest resource of the manager is, of course, his people. The greatest tool to mobilize and move people to action is communication. So, we speak to lead. Good communication is probably the manager's best ally, the most critical skill he must possess. Of course, communication is generally a very important life skill in itself. Poor communication can render the rest of the management skills ineffective. So, it all starts with the manager's ability to master all forms of communication, written, verbal, and listening skills. Communication is the manager's fundamental tool in making the other skills operative and effective. So virtually all management tasks starts with sharing opinions, ideas, expectations, and then driving alignment. In a sense, communication is the lifeblood of management. For a detailed insight, of course, on this criticality, the criticality of communication in driving organizational outcomes, I recommend that you revisit our Leading Edge series on the power of leadership communication. It will be very useful. The manager should learn how to build trust with the people and all the other stakeholders. Trust is the strength of communication. Great managers are masters in the art of communication, in the rare art of active listening, questioning, the appropriate mix of verbal and non-verbals, the power of storytelling, and how to employ visuals and data, the application of emotions, tone, eye contact, and so on and so forth. Now, the manager should establish clear communication channels to enable him to, collaborate well, resolve issues, and prevent conflicts to achieve the institutional objectives. Create an environment as a manager that enables your people to have access to you, to share their concerns, their opinions, their feedbacks, and ideas without inhibitions. Employ communication as a tool in creating a positive workspace. A positive workspace, in turn, creates a well-motivated, engaged, and productive people or team. Great. So number 2, leadership. Now, if communication is the lifeblood of management, leadership is its soul. Leadership gives true character to management. To be effective as a manager, you need to go beyond merely driving processes. You need to invest in mastering the art of galvanizing, motivating, and empowering your people. You require strong leadership, that ability to bring out the best in your people. Of course, there are various components to the leadership skills, right? First, you must have a good quotient of people management skills. You need to play the coach and mentor roles, inspiring, supporting, guiding, and building your people. Now, an effective manager is a problem solver and decision maker. Problem solving is a critical work of leadership. That's what gives you a voice. It grows your influence with your people. This may sometimes require that you think on your feet when challenges arise, that you remain calm and clear-headed, and that you engage in creative thinking to come up with, innovative solutions. Yeah? So all of this starts with clarity of the goal, the vision, and that ability to infect your people, as it were, with this vision so that everyone is headed in the same direction. Leadership also involves the ability to see the big picture, to be a strategic thinker. If you are only consumed with the tasks and grinds of today, you can't take your team and the organization into the future. And this is very critical. You need the skill for forward thinking and planning. This is the way you encourage innovation and secure the relevance of your team and the organization both today and tomorrow. Leadership is a game of chess. You plan. You are bold yet calculated. You win the game by anticipating challenges, considering trends, and prioritizing. You develop and constantly modify your tactics based on the things you have learned. Great. So number 3, negotiation. And I like this one. Now, this is another critical life skill that a manager requires in order to be effective. Now, take note, within every organization, there are scarce resources. You could never have enough, right? There are also differing preferences, different positions. There are established norms that sometimes may require to be challenged, and there are established attitudes. There are conflicts of interest, and so on and so forth. Now, from time to time, the manager will require to push through an idea or project to obtain some resource allocation. Now, acceptance and approvals don't often go to the most appropriate idea or project. And this is the truth. They go to the idea or project that was sold most effectively. Take note of that. Negotiation requires the daily experiences of attempting to reconcile differences, to manage conflicts, to resolve disputes, and establish or adjust relationships as we seek to influence other people, right? The manager negotiates across multiple stakeholders, his team members, his peers, his bosses, external vendors and suppliers, and so much more. He must therefore learn how to win with people if he must win at all. Now, negotiation is a critical influencing skill. It helps you with stakeholder management. Now, with it, you can establish influence and power in any given situation. You create allies of those who hold power to support your cause. You also need this skill in conflict resolution, whether the conflict is inter-team or intra-team. Now, let's face it, disagreements are normal, sometimes even healthy. In fact, workplace conflicts are quite normal. An effective manager should master de-escalation strategies that help reconcile divergent perspectives, eliminate excessive tension, and build alignment. The key is resolution, not avoidance. Good. So we'll go to number 4. Number 4 is commercial acumen. Now, this is another critical skill that is often lacking among managers, especially non-sales and non-finance managers. This is commercial awareness or entrepreneurship skills. But really, effective managers ought to think like entrepreneurs, in that they are constantly working to turn vision into reality, which for most organizations includes financial objectives. They must make the connection between the various functions in the business with the larger financial goals of the organization. An entrepreneurial mindset is a well sought after skill in organizations. Executives and business owners look for pragmatic and optimistic managers who are not afraid to think outside the box, as they say, and create something novel and something that helps to, achieve the financial goals of the organization. The manager needs to demonstrate an understanding of the market and the economic environment within which the business operates and the critical success factors for businesses in that operating environment. A manager that has a sound commercial awareness runs his team and their tasks differently with a keen focus on the impact his activities have on the overall objective. Good. So we come to number 5. Number 5 is good organization. Managers are saddled with multiple responsibilities. The ability, therefore, to juggle several responsibilities is critical for success. The manager requires excellent organizational skills. Otherwise, he will struggle. Effective working practices, devoid of sloppiness, tardiness, and the lack of organization are therefore necessary. This requires good skills in effective delegation. You need to know what you must do and what you must get others to do while taking overall responsibility. You must know your staff and identify their key skills and therefore assign tasks that align with those skills. Delegation is not a weakness. It is about organization and about empowerment. Organization also involves planning, scheduling, execution, and monitoring. This requires a good grasp of the processes and policies of your organization and the ability to effectively predict the outcomes and timelines of specific actions. Overall, effective managers, therefore, have sound project management skills. They can understand the scope and requirements of team projects, the milestones, the responsible persons, the projected timelines, the resources required, the key dependencies, monitoring mechanisms, contingency plans, and so on and so forth. Yeah? Now, number 6. Number 6 is performance management. Now, if you don't know where you are going, anywhere becomes a destination. Now, every organization has its goals and objectives. Well, you can call it their destination, right? The work of the manager is to harness people and resources to achieve those goals, to get to that destination. Understanding the whole range of performance management processes is a key skill of the manager. Setting the right measurement, therefore, becomes key. Where there are no measures, there is nothing to manage. So, performance management is an ongoing process of engaging your people through setting appropriate expectations and goals for them, gathering performance data, providing continuous feedback, developing developmental plans, conducting performance assessments and rewarding performance. Yeah? So great organizations are those that know how to drive performance management effectively. The iconic venture capitalist, John Doerr, did a brilliant job on how tech giants like Google, Intel, and the rest of them have used a solid performance management system to create runaway business successes in his book that he called Measure What Matters. It's a good book to read. Every manager requires the skill to objectively manage performance. That's how to drive and sustain productivity. That is a key skill of a manager. Great. Finally, number 7. Number 7 is adaptability, what you may call change management. Now, domain knowledge can mean that a manager has a good mastery of the entire work processes in his team, such that everything begins to feel like automatic. Yeah? This may appear good, but it has its dangerous limitations. Now, in a world of fast-paced changes, the manager's great anchor is adaptability, and what you may call flexibility. Every one of us is limited in some way. So, Keeping an open mind that anticipates and embraces new perspectives is a critical skill in today's ever-changing world. For instance, in the last few months, the workplace has been altered almost unrecognizably in some instances, thanks to all the work from home thing. So work is no longer a location. Work has become just what we do. The way we approach performance management has also changed, especially with so many people working remotely. A manager, therefore, that's stuck in the old models will stagnate and become a big deadly roadblock to his team. He will stifle creativity and new ways of doing things. Adaptability drives innovation and growth. It is a critical skill for any effective manager. Yeah, so great. These are the top 7 manager skills that we have identified. Let me close this session with these thoughts. Every one of us is different. Some of the skills highlighted here come more natural to some people, right? They don't come natural to some others. The good thing with skills, however, is that they can be learned. You can develop these skills and competencies if you invest in the process. Just some little counsel regarding the journey of developing these skills. Number 1, they are valuable. They support your professional growth in no small way. Number 2, these skills are transferable. They have a wider application beyond just your career path. Number 3, some are not too easy to master, right? So when you are faltering in them, just remember that though you may not like them, you need them. And number 4, some of these skills take time to learn and master. So be ready to make the investment of time and be patient while at it. Whatever it will take, learn these skills. As Henry Mintzberg says, management is above all a practice where art, science, and craft meet. Remember, every investment in your personal growth is an investment in your future and those of your people and your organization. Be that great manager that leads your people and organization into the future. Great. So here we come to the end of the session today. I'd like to thank you for joining us. If you have not started following us on all our various social media handles, please do so today and continue to share, like, and comment on this video if it's been helpful to you. Thank you for joining. This has been Leading Edge.